Lights, camera, action! Welcome to Movie Makers, a podcast from Reckless Amoeba Productions. I am your host, Brandon Horvath, and with me are my co-hosts, Ryan Stokely and Brandon Thalinger. Hey guys!
Hey.
Ahoy, hoy.
So, hopefully, this week we can make some very interesting titles and eventually work one of them into a movie. Is the dice ready, Brandon?
I got it. Don't you worry about it. I got it.
Today's words are juggle, blue, haste, feather, women, chase, chainsaw, milk, wooden, story.
I hear the word women, and I'm like, all right, gotta be careful about this title because, whoo boy, that's a loaded word right there in this current climate.
So, how many words?
Oh, this will be good. How do we feel about a 2-word start?
I
like a milk chainsaw.
I was about to say milk.
Ooh. Okay, I have a drama in mind. I am changing one of the words slightly, but adding a word. Chase Matthews, hastily. It will be a documentary about Chase Matthews and how he needs to be like the best wheelchair racer. And he was like some runner or something like that, gets caught in some freak accident, and now he's in a wheelchair, but he still wants to move hastily. So he will try to be the best wheelchair racer.
I feel, as ridiculous as this is, I kind of feel like we're rehashing Fastest Surgeon at this point too, though. It's kind of the same thing, just with a different goal.
Maybe.
Then again, I think Hollywood would be all about that not much work put in attitude.
And that's what we are.
Yes.
I mean, I was thinking, like, what about Juggle Story?
Juggle Story?
Yeah, it's Juggle Story. Where this would probably be set, like, back in medievalish times, I would say, where, like, you know, you would have, like, those traveling minstrels and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Except this guy would be, like, a traveling juggler.
Okay.
Entertaining crowds and such, right?
Yeah.
And he has to, like, decide at some point, like, he falls in love with someone in the audience, right? And he's got to decide, like, do I go forward with, you know, what I've been doing all my life, or do I sit down here and plant down roots? Like, like, the idea being, like, he's been a traveler all his life, like, even from, like, as a kid.
Okay.
And, you know, maybe even this woman is, like, of a higher class, and we have to deal with the whole, you're a lowly juggler, we can't have you as part of our married family. Ugh. Insulted
Father,
noble noises.
I love him.
Insulted noble noises.
Insulted noble noises.
I tried everything. I yelled at her.
I yelled at her, I locked her in a tower with a dragon around her, you know, and then this juggler just threw his balls at it. And the juggler just juggled his balls, and the dragon was just so mesmerized, and she climbed out of the tower.
Wait, so the dragon climbed out of the tower?
No, the girl climbs out of the tower while the dragon's distracted by the amazing juggling. Like, he starts juggling, like, flaming hams or something just to, like, distract the dragon.
I just remember some dude on early Nickelodeon juggled, wait, what was it? It was like a rubber hand, a toilet plunger, and 3 candies. And like this, and the bit ended with like the toilet plunger in one hand, the rubber hand in the other, and the candies in his mouth.
God, God. Oh my god. Do we make this an animated movie?
No. I will say, since we're half leaning towards romantic drama-esque, I'm gonna say, like, live action with, oh, what's that woman's name now? That, oh crap, I enjoy her a lot, but I can't place her name.
Sandra Bullock? I have no
No,
idea.
no, she's around Emma Stone. Emma Stone.
Oh, Hermione. Okay.
No, 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 that's Emma Watson.
Yeah.
Emma Stone was in the second bunch of Spider-Man movies.
Hmm.
Gwen
Yeah.
Stacy
Also in Ted too.
and Superbad.
Alright.
Oh yeah, I forgot she's in Superbad.
Apparently, she is not a natural redhead.
Huh.
Even though
Okay.
in almost all her movies, she has red hair.
You could argue, shit. Damn it, now I'm in your position now because I can't remember this actress's name. Who played her? Karen Gillan.
Karen Gillan.
She played Amy Pond on Doctor Who, and she graduated to Nebula on Guardians of the Galaxy. But she's played a whole bunch of different parts as well.
Oh, okay, okay.
But she's got that like kind of like a thicker Scottish accent that she can do, which would probably help along with the whole medieval times setup.
Okay.
But I could totally see her doing that. Who plays the pompous nobleman with his insulting noble noises?
Hugh Jackman?
Yeah, sure.
Does he have the? I was gonna say, does he have the mutton chops? But no, that wouldn't work for that time period. I don't think that was around.
No, but I'm sure
You would have
you
to
could
have, like, a
pull
full
off
beard.
a like pompous British
Oh yeah, no, I could totally see it.
because he's normally British, right? Or is he Scottish?
Oh, God, I don't know. I've seen him in a handful of things, but I haven't really explored all of the stuff he has done. And the two that I have seen, I've only seen what was it? It was I've seen his Wolverine stuff, which is just classic American essentially. And I've seen him in The Greatest Showman.
He's Australian.
There you go.
Okay, so I'm sure he could tweak it a bit to be British.
Oh yeah, I can see it. He could totally do it. I'm sorry, I'm just thinking like pompous nobleman Wolverine. It's just a thing now. It's in my head. He's got a monocle and a top hat. I say, sir. Pulls out his claws. You will make the deal, or you won't.
Come at me, bub.
Come at me, bub.
Let's try to keep humor to a minimum. Since this is like romantic drama.
I was gonna say the only thing is like we can obviously throw in some stupid jokes. Like I was joking about the dragon thing, but we could totally try and do that if we wanted to, and have him juggle the fucking flaming hams.
And maybe to keep it a little bit more believable, maybe she's surrounded by like a few tigers, and since he's juggling the hams, the tigers are just watching.
Just like staring intently, like, oh.
Ham.
Well, I mean, the thing is, where would they get the tigers though?
Steamed
That's the only down
hams.
thing.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
I don't know about tigers being up that way. Like, you'd have to be stupidly rich to get that to happen.
Well, this is a rich nobleman, but is he stupidly rich?
I mean, if he's a nobleman, he's rich. The thing is, like, to get something like that back in the day, you'd literally have to be like a king.
Oh.
Or nearly that.
So what's a expensive animal that he could afford to guard his daughter?
I mean, we could just stick with the classic, like, dogs. Like, trained dogs.
Okay, okay.
If you really wanted to get into it, you could have them be, like, half bred with wolves. So that way they're a bit more feral.
Okay, okay.
Turns out the dog's actually Will Ferrell.
Wolf Barrel. Oh, you said?
Oh man, what else would we work with here? It feels pretty cut and dry is the thing, right? I'm trying to think of complications we could throw in there, but it's just straight like man shows up as a juggler in probably a traveling band of like minstrels and whatnot, and he just works along with their music. Girl is probably passing by at the time in like the market or something, or like passing by. Oh no, she wouldn't be doing her own shopping. She's a noblewoman. She'd probably be passing by in like the carriage on her way somewhere with her father, I would guess. So she would probably see him through there and just all of a sudden be like, stars and eyes, he's so handsome, and look at how he juggles and handles those balls.
Look at how he juggles.
Look at how he handles those balls.
Okay, there will be a lot of ball here. A double entendre.
It's gonna be so hard not to. It's so easy.
But is he? Oh, I can't think of the old word for betrothed to somebody else.
Betrothed.
Betrothed.
She could be.
Betrothed to
That would actually do it. If like the father wants to make a political alliance with another noble family, he would probably try to like have his daughter marry into it.
But then the juggler will have to face him in
In a duel.
Oh.
How does he win with his juggling skill? You know what? No. Go ahead.
Okay,
Give me your idea first.
He juggles swords and somehow fights that way.
I was going to say, like, we can do that, and I want to add in this, though. He manages to, like, with his juggling swords, somehow, like, what is it? When you, like, de-weapon the person. I'm blanking on the word for it, right? Disarm. He disarms him and throws, like, the other guy, the betrothed guy's weapon in with, like, the rest of his swords and starts juggling all of them at once.
Oh, he looks like he's about to lose a hand. Wait, 4 swords now.
Wait, what happened? I blinked. I missed. What happened? Like the betrothed guy's just staring at his hands, just like, what? Toss me another sword. It just happens again.
No, toss me another sword.
And then, like, to finish him off, he, like, tosses all of the swords at him, like, here, catch, see if you can juggle. Throws it at him. And, like he like, starts getting closer as he's juggling it until the guy's, like, pressed up against the wall. He's like, here, how about you try? And he starts tossing the swords at him until they're, like, right next to his face, sticking into the wall.
And, like, some piercing through his clothes, pinning him to the wall.
Yeah, pinning him there, and it's like, like, he's got a final, like, dagger or something that was mixed in there, and it's just, like, spinning on the tip of his finger. I think I win, as he, like, presses the dagger to the guy's neck. Like, I think you should yield. I yield!
Oh, Jonathan!
Clearly, the fucking nobleman's still pissed off. He's like, no! All of my plans! Obviously, there'd be, like, a heart-to-heart with his daughter about how she's, like, throwing away the family lineage and all of that.
But, Father, I love him!
I mean, here's
That's
the thing,
all
right?
she says all movie.
Is she the only daughter, or is there, like, a son? Or no, she would have to be the only daughter to make this a real problem. Like, obviously,
Yeah.
if there was another, like, younger daughter, the father could push all of that shit onto her. But if this is his only daughter and his wife has, like, passed away, he's kind of fucked. He's stuck. Oh my god, that's like, I'm just imagining him juggling at the person. At the guy that's betrothed. Oh god. Is it sad that I just keep imagining it being Buddy the Elf? It's just juggling shit at him.
Can you please not bring up that movie? I am not a huge fan of that movie.
I mean, that's fine. It's just, I just imagine it being so ridiculous that it would be that character at that time period.
Maybe.
Like I don't like the movie either. I'm just imagining the ridiculousness of it.
But will we have some sort of other way of trying to force the daughter to marry the other nobleman? Like, kidnap the juggler somehow? Obviously, that has to happen.
Hmm.
Or somehow manipulate him so that the daughter half loses interest in him?
You know what he could do, right? He could pay off the other people that travel with him to keep him from seeing her.
Maybe. Maybe.
Because I mean, they're traveling minstrels. They're gonna be doing money, and it's like you're not hiring us to like be mercenaries here or for our musical talent. You just want us to keep our friend away from your daughter. We can do that. And it's probably because like they are probably like, no, this is a bad idea. You don't want to get mixed up with noblemen.
Yeah, yeah.
It always ends poorly. Like they could even reference the, didn't you hear Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet? It never ends well.
But wait, Romeo and Juliet were about two noble families that hated each other.
Yes, but it's also nobles in general.
Oh, okay, okay.
And at that time, technically, it could have come out at that point, depending on how you set this time period. Because I believe Shakespeare was like 1300s, if I recall correctly. Let me see here.
Shakespeare was died in 1616.
Okay, no, way sooner. All right.
Later. You said 1300s.
Well, I mean sooner, as in closer to now.
Oh, okay.
All right, so that wouldn't work. I'm sure we could find some reference to some previous horrible noble tragedy that we could use.
Okay.
But yeah, like the other stuff like that. So what? We have like 3 different trials at this point. The duel with the betrothed. We have the friends keeping him away, trying to like essentially protect him just as much as, protect the daughter, I guess.
Yeah.
And then we have like maybe him breaking into like the nobleman's place with like those dogs, the guarding it and all of that. And like maybe trying to whisk her away with him.
Okay. I could see that.
Starts juggling red balls. Here, boys, you like these?
I always thought he was gay the way he handles those.
They say her mom and dad like say that at the wedding.
Oh God, that'd be great. I think that's everything. Like, do we have a happily ever after at the end? I guess.
Yeah.
We don't make this a Shakespearean tragedy, or
No.
where they both like die on the road to freaking highwaymen.
They both die on the road to Highland.
No. There has to be a point somewhere in the middle of the movie where the juggler does something heroic. The father starts to turn towards him, and the other nobleman is like, "No, you promised me I could have your daughter's hand in marriage."
I don't believe that the nobleman would turn away, like toward the juggler.
Not even like 5%. Like,
No, no, he'd be too dead set in his own goals to like, push his noble family forward more.
okay.
He's got too much of his own self-interest in this. I don't see him turning toward the juggler, even if he would want to.
Okay, but how about members of, and I'm going to use like the English terminology here, but members of his cabinet or members of his court would be like,
He's just a nobleman. He wouldn't have a court. Like he would have like employees essentially, like maids and such.
wouldn't some of the maids be like slowly turning, trying to say, "But sir, your father, like your daughter,
I
loves
don't
you so much."
think so. I don't think they would argue with the like head of the household that he would be. However, they might co-conspiratorially work with the daughter to try and make it happen. Like they wouldn't out front argue with the lord of the house.
Okay, I'm gonna take that along with mine and have like one maid who is like the noblewoman's best friend or like closest friend try to convince the father and he fires
No.
her or something.
He would kill her outright.
Oh.
Because at that point she's just a peasant. He would kill her.
Mm.
And it would not be looked down upon by anyone.
Do you want to die, Jessica? No, sir. Then agree with me. The juggler is bad.
Like that's the thing, right? Because of the fact that it's just de facto, I can kill you now and nobody else will care. She would not do that. She would not out front question him.
Okay.
If she did, she would be dead.
Okay.
Like it's as simple as that.
Hmm.
Now, working behind his back, sure, I could see that. So long as she can like keep the secret.
Okay.
But you go up against a noble in medieval times, you are dead. Like you need to have that backing or you will die. Specifically if you are in their, even more so if you are in their employ. Like the juggler can technically get out of that because he is not under that guy's thumb in any way, shape, or form. He's a traveler. He doesn't stay anywhere. He's not employed by anyone specifically. He is his own man. Same with the minstrels. Even more so if said minstrels are like sponsored, quote unquote, by another noble family. In which case he can't really touch them without causing an incident between him and another house.
Oh. That might be an interesting plot point.
Yeah, he could dissuade them. He can do whatever he wants as far as like protecting his own self-interests. And as long as like the minstrels and stuff don't do anything that would be considered instigating, I guess. Aside from that, yeah, if you are in that noble house, if you are in their employ, you will die if you outright, like he would have to be a really nice noble not to outright kill you for that.
I guess I need to watch more Downton Abbey to know what noblemen were actually like.
Downton Abbey or Game of Thrones, both of those capture that. Actually, Game of Thrones even more so because they don't pull punches. Like they don't romanticize it. They show you what it was like.
I guess I need to watch Game of Thrones then.
Probably. I mean, look here. This is a spoiler for anyone who hasn't watched like the first season, which came out God knows how many years ago at this point.
AKA only me.
Probably you.
And me.
Literally one of the most honorable men that you meet in that first season dies at the end at beheading because he's too noble for his own good.
Oh.
It's literally a cutthroat world.
And is there a said throne that everybody is playing the game over?
Yes, in fact, yes.
Oh.
It is called the Iron Throne, and it's literally a throne made of swords forged together.
That must be uncomfortable as hell.
You would think, but, you know, being a king is not exactly the most comfortable thing in the world. You gotta have that precarious balance not to fuck it up or you'll get cut. Actually, that's even the more interesting part, is that throne is kind of a pretty good analogy for being a king. Because if you're not careful as a king, you get cut. But yeah, anyway. I could see her working behind the guy's back. I can't see her outright questioning in front of everyone. Like, I can't see her doing it to his face.
All the maids are having a little discussion, and the king, nobleman walks in like, what are you talking about? Nothing, sir!
Just about how we want to clean the linens, my lord.
You better not use any juggling techniques to get them dry.
What? Why? Why would he question juggling techniques to dry things? I'd love to know how that works.
You're juggling so fast, the air velocity is drying them. I don't know.
Dude.
Those would have to hitting like supersonic speed to do that. I'm sorry. They're gonna be balled up. That center's gonna still be wet.
I don't know.
Like it could, like I could totally see that happening, especially if it's like he's walking down like the hallway of his castle or his manor or whatever he's living in, and there are like two maids talking in the hall about the juggler,
Mm.
and he like catches word or like a word or something of it, and he gets suspicious, and he's like, "What are you two talking about?" And they have to like convince him that's not what they were talking about. Like if we really wanted to, and he does catch someone that's like praising the juggler, he could make an example of that person and just have her killed. Like, and just if only for the audience sake, be like, this is what happens if you cross him, if you do something he doesn't like. Because if this juggler as well as his troupe are sponsored, that guy can't do it. Like the noble cannot do it unless the only other thing I can think of is if there's like a decree put in place by like the actual king of the realm that basically would say, hey, don't touch entertainers. I enjoy them. Because it's the king. The king can do whatever the fuck he wants.
Okay.
And the nobles will just have to follow along.
I could see that. So I think we exhausted as much as we could out of this plot.
I think so. We have the introduction of the juggler. We have the reason why the woman falls in love with him. Partly probably because she doesn't like her father and what he wants. And the other part being like the juggler's actually free to do what he wants.
Mm-hmm.
We have the point of like the duel. We have the point of like him helping her escape. And what was the first one again that we had?
The wolves and the ham.
That was going to be part of the escape plan, I thought.
Okay.
There was something else I think we had at first, and I'm blanking on what it was.
Yeah. Crap.
Rewind, people, and find out, because we can't remember for shit.
Yeah.
And then we have the happily ever after, where they went off together. Probably without... probably just leaving, like, the noble angry.
And Hugh Jackman can pull off angry pretty well.
Oh, definitely. So I think that's cut and wrap, people.
I think we should use that as the outro.
Cut, that's a wrap.
Yep, so join us next time when we make another movie. Hopefully, just
Maybe.
good as this one.
Maybe.
Hopefully.
I don't know, man. I don't think we can ever pass up Fastest Fish Surgeon. The one that will never come out. Oh my god.
Okay, so until next time, later.
Goodbye.
See ya.